Hello, I'm Kevin Chaplin.
And I'm Tyler Venice.
We're Sons of the American Legion members from Virginia, and every year we receive a lot of feedback asking us what the Consolidated Report is and how to fill it out. We'll go over the basics on the CSR and why it's important.
The Sons of the American Legion's Consolidated Squadron Report is an opportunity for squadrons to document every activity they fulfill during the Legion year, which starts June 1st to May 31st of the following year, whether it's providing funeral honors, sponsoring youth to attend a Legion program, conduct fundraising efforts, or more. The CSR is perhaps the most critical document your squadron can complete. This information will be combined with other squadrons and will be incorporated into the final report used by the American Legion and subsequently sent to Congress. It's imperative that all squadrons accounted for their commitment to programs and volunteer services that they worked on, and therefore all squadron adjutants are requested to send the report in late May to early June to their respective detachment. Kevin will show you why these reports need to be turned in.
There are over 12,500 American Legion posts in the country, and just under half have squadrons. Last year, out of over 6,000 squadrons, only 1,638 turned in a consolidated squadron report. From these reports, the American Legion was able to compile this list of accomplishments for the Sons at Dawn on a national level. Only 12 detachments ended up reporting, and the Sons still ended up contributing more than $10 million and volunteering approximately 2.3 million hours. Imagine the impact if all squadrons and detachments had reported.
Your detachment needs this information to report how engaged their state is. As we are from Virginia, this list shows what the Detachment of Virginia has accomplished in 2019 from the known Consolidated Squadron Reports received. Approximately only half of the squadrons turned in their CSRs, but we're still able to get a glimpse of what the organization has accomplished. Even if it was a single hour of volunteering at a party or assisting veterans, they all add up and should be counted.
So, how do we fill out the form? Every squadron adjutant should be familiar with this report, and if they're not, we encourage you to ask around or ask a detachment officer, since this form will be in use for years to come. There are two ways to fill out the form. The adjutant can fill out the paper form and mail the copy to the district and detachment adjutant, or they can use the Excel version and email it, which we strongly recommend. You can get the Excel file from your detachment officers. So this is the heart of your squadron's work for the year. If you don't record your hours and donations on this page, it never happened in the eyes of your detachment or state. So keep good track of your squadron's work. It may look tedious, but it shouldn't take more than a half hour to compile if your squadron kept track of its hours and donations throughout the year. If your squadron hasn't, it may take longer.
There are 5 sections one can fill out: Americanism, Children and Youth, Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, Veterans Employment and Education, and Internal Affairs. It's perfectly acceptable that some or many of these line items are not filled. Some squadrons focus more in certain areas, like working with scouts and Legion programs, like Boys State, but do not volunteer at any veteran hospitals. The left column shows all the monetary donations that your squadron and individual members have either contributed or spent in some fashion on that particular program. The right column shows the number of hours your entire squadron has spent volunteering.
It is important, like Tyler said, that you count each individual hours and donations, if possible, as they all count. So what does this mean? I'll give you an example of how to count hours. Your squadron planned on sponsoring a blood drive during a squadron meeting and eventually had 5 members assist during the event for 3 hours. You can count 15 hours of time for volunteering for that section, line 28. But wait, if someone ended up buying food and beverage for those volunteering and drawing blood like the Red Cross, you can also count that towards the cost, line 27. Many people overlook the commute to and from the Legion programs, which also count. So if you take approximately 30 minutes per person to make it to this event round trip, then it's an additional 5 hours added. You can see how these quickly add up and make an impressive report. this file that we're looking at here is the Excel file. You'll notice there's 4 tabs at the bottom: instructions, the CSR report itself, a details tab where you enter all of your information, and an accomplishment tab. The accomplishments tab and the CSR tab get filled out automatically for you from the data that you enter into the details tab. So if you'll notice, we've already got some information in a couple of these sections. If the Excel file is broken up by month, but if you have annual data and don't have it by month, just put the information in any column. So for instance, flag education program, this row here is meant to take the dollars. So if we had $300 in that section, and then we also volunteered 55 hours, it keeps a total over here. And you'll notice that the CSR will have filled out that information. This is the money, and then here's our hours. It also populates the accomplishments page. So you can print these out when you're done, and this is what you'll be able to use to show how much your squadron has done. Everything that doesn't fall into one of these top 4 categories, namely hours spent internally at your squadron and post, will fall into the internal affairs section. This will cover, down here, this will cover your monthly squadron general membership and executive committee meetings, including the commute and expenses incurred, including any donations or purchases your squadron made to better the post, community, or veterans, like purchasing new televisions for the post or hosting a tailgate. The report is that easy. Keeping track throughout the year makes this a lot easier when it comes time to make the report. So I recommend the adjutant keep some record as best he can. There are volunteer apps that will help with this, like Track It Forward, which is free for up to 20 users.
We strongly urge you to not send the completed form to National Department or by completing the form online at mysao.org. Detachments can only get credit if they count the information in their own reporting. To help your detachment, please send a copy, whether it's the Excel or hard copy, to your detachment adjutant, and they will use the information and report it on your squadron's behalf.
If you need more assistance, contact your district or detachment officers. We are one family, and we are here to help. Thanks for watching.